Hey y'all, welcome to day 9 of upleveling your customer service experience. Of course, this can be used for e-commerce brands and service-based providers. And today, I want to focus on how to craft email responses that leave a lasting impression on your customers. Okay, and so if you're in the customer service space, if you're on the back end handling customer inquiries and all of the things, then you know how important it is to create canned email responses or and basically canned email responses for people who don't use that kind of language are the saved email responses, the ones that are already saved in your email provider. So when a customer comes and send an email, you can quickly go to that template email that's already generated and you can update it as need be and just send it off. Those are going to help you with responding swiftly, responding more efficiently, making sure the answers to the questions are there, and it's going to help with personalization and all of the things. And so, today I want to talk to you about how to craft the perfect email responses. And guess what, y'all? This is without Chat GPT. And so, I've been in the customer service space since I started in the customer service industry in 2008. I want to say in 2008. And I've learned so much since then. When I think about it, all of my experiences from 2008 till about, I want to say until about 2019, 2020, I honestly thought customer service was like being a cashier. I thought customer service was just about, quick and efficient service, right? Because what I came to find out, I've worked in the customer service space in Fortune 500 companies, multiple Fortune 500 companies. And what I realized is when it came to training front end workers, when it came to training customer facing providers, companies usually did not do a good job. Like they tell you what you need to know, but when it comes to having a customer service mindset or a customer experience mindset, providing an excellent experience, those things were not taught. And so a lot of what I've been teaching are things that I had to learn for myself when I was promoted to a customer service manager, when I started shifting from being in person doing customer service spaces to being now online in the digital marketplace. And so, so I've had to craft perfect email responses for companies. And guess what, y'all? This was all before Chat GPT came about. I heard someone say recently was that, we're using Chat GPT so much that it's stealing our voice from us. So now there's so many people who have become so dependent on Chat GPT, they don't have their own thoughts, they don't have their own voice, they don't have their own tone. And so all they do is sound like everybody else on social media because everyone is using it, right? And so I want to talk to y'all really quickly about crafting these responses without Chat GPT. And you might be like, well, why would I do that when I can just use Chat GPT? Like, use Chat GPT to refine, but don't use it to create your response in your brand's voice. Unless you have literally set up your Chat GPT to now use your voice. But most people don't even know how to do that. So let me tell you, if you don't know how to do it, how to do this by yourself. And the truth of the matter is just talk like you normally would talk to people. I think since COVID, we've become so adapt to not talking to people face to face that we're losing even how to communicate with people. And so when we're writing these perfect email responses, one of the things that we want to do is act like we're talking to people. And so that's going to start with before I get into that one, I am Ebony. For those of you who do not know, I am a customer service experience strategist who has a lot of experience in executive assistance and online business management. And all of this has led me to find the Empire Effect Agency, which is essentially a virtual assistant company that focuses on the customer service experience, executive assistance, and online business management for high performing CEOs and executive directors who want to maximize their impact, who wants to grow their business without the burnout. Okay. And so that's who I am. And I will tell you a little bit more about me at the end. But number one, to craft the perfect email, you want to personalize every response. Talk to people how you would talk to them in real life, but more professionally, if that makes sense. And depending on your brand, it may be a brand that you can literally talk to people and write an email like I'm talking to you right now. And so don't get so caught up in using generic templates. Don't get so caught up in focusing on just using ChatGPT. Let me tell you something. With one of my clients, I do operations, and with operations and online business management comes with team management and, handling the dynamics of their team. And one thing I found when we're given assignments, there's someone you can tell that this person is always using ChatGPT. Because I am in ChatGPT a lot myself in my business, when I'm working with my clients, I know how ChatGPT give responses, especially if you're giving them a generic prompt. And so a lot of times when you see things like in today's world, in today's society, in this digital landscape, it's obvious AI, okay? And so one of the ways you can prevent sounding like a robot or sounding like, because a lot of people use it now, so they know when you just sent them an email that was just written by ChatGPT versus using a personalized message with storytelling and all of those things. So personalize every response and talk like you would talk to them if you're on the phone with them or if you're on a Zoom call with them. That also could look like addressing them by name with instead of hello, or instead of even good morning, good morning. I hope you are well today. That's a ChatGPT response. So personalizing a message. If you have a name for your audience, call them by that name when you're sending an email. So instead of saying like hello or hi Brittany, you may say something like hey friend. If that's how you address your audience, you may say something like hey sis, or whatever the case may be. What's up, y'all? Hey, y'all, that kind of thing. If that's how you normally talk, then personalize your email to sound that way. You may reference their order issue. That provides a level of personalization. Or add in some kind of a unique touch. Hey, Brittany, I know we talked yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I want to check in and see how's your family doing. I know y'all were traveling, add that personal touch. And you may be like, well, that may take a whole bunch of time. And it doesn't, it doesn't cost a lot of time or money to be personable. And so that's number one. Personalize every response. And of course, you can start with a template, but then every time you're sending these canned responses, you can quickly spend 5 seconds, 10 seconds max personalizing it. You know what I'm saying? And so number two, be very clear and be very concise. Let me tell you all something. A lot of CEOs, especially for the people who I serve, they value their time. They understand how important their time is and they steward it wisely. And so in your emails, no one wants to read a novel when they simply asked you, where is my order? No one wants to read a novel when they're asking you, hey, how do I access this membership portal? Hey, I want to follow up on the deliverable that you said I would have by this date. They don't want to read a novel back. So be clear and be concise, because not only is your time very precious and valuable, but your customer or your client's time is also. So make sure you're getting to the point in your email and you're directly addressing the question that was asked. Of course, you want to be thorough enough to answer the question and to resolve the issue, but you can do that in a very concise way. Another way this can be done for some people, if you're telling them a step-by-step process on how to update their credit card information, and you're sending bullet points of, first you're going to go to the website with the link, then you're going to go to your profile picture, and then you're going to go to the three dots, and then you're going to go to billing, and then if you're doing all of that, that's cute, right? It could be helpful to some people, but how much more beneficial would it be for you to send a video walking them through exactly what you're saying? And if this video is now already recorded and it's already linked in your email responses, now you can just send it over. That's more personable than the 10-point, 25-point step-by-step procedure on how to do it. Okay? And so be clear and be concise. Also, you want to show empathy. Empathy is a game changer when it comes to customer service. And I'm going to ask this question on my threads later. Later today or maybe sometime this week, because I truly want to know if you all believe that empathy is something that can be taught or if it's something that's innate. Do you believe that empathy can be taught or learned, or do you believe it's something that you just have to have in you? You know what I'm saying? And so showing empathy when it comes to customer service, you definitely want to have a level of empathy. Okay. And what does that look like? That means acknowledging, putting yourself in someone else's shoes and acknowledging their concerns, acknowledging their issue, acknowledging their complaint, acknowledging their feedback, whether good or bad. Like, you want to acknowledge what they said versus just trying to respond to defend yourself, right? And so make sure that you are, if a customer is upset, you're acknowledging their frustration and letting them know, like, hey, I understand that you're frustrated. I understand that you haven't received your order yet. Then you provide help. I am here. That's what I'm here for. I want to make sure that you get your package, and I want to make that process very seamless for you. And so you're showing empathy. This is what happens when you're crafting an email. So whenever you're even doing your email templates, you want to consider what a person could be asking you and what their frame of mind or what their attitude could be in that moment that they even have to send you an email about that question. Okay. And so you're considering all of these things even when writing your emails. That's something ChatGPT may not even consider. So if you go to ChatGPT and you're saying, hey, I'm a customer service representative and I want to draft a canned email template when a customer asks me how to change their password, right? Now, if I'm a customer, I've been trying to get into my account. There's no forgot password option. You have to do it manually on your end. And it's Friday evening. I'm trying to now get into my account. You're out of office Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday. Now I've wasted 3 whole days where I could have been working on whatever I would have had access to. But because you're not in office, because you don't have anything set up where I would be able to do this while you're out of office, now I'm frustrated. I've lost time, all of these different things. So I may come in with an attitude, right? Because I'm like, man, because of your inability to anticipate issues that could happen over the weekend and make sure you're preparing for that, you didn't do that. And now I had to suffer over the weekend where that was my time to now get into the course and do whatever I had to do. I wasn't able to do that. And so if I'm coming at you saying, hey, it's Monday, happy Monday, I haven't been able to get into the course over the weekend because I didn't have my password, all of the things, or I just simply didn't even have a link, right? You want to be able to acknowledge your wrong or your issue and not providing me with the information that I needed, and then offer me help. And then that goes into the last point, y'all. Offer a solution, right? An explanation is nice Because you could be like, hey, well, we don't work over the weekends. That's cool, but that's not addressing the issue at hand. My issue is I don't have access, and you're telling me y'all don't work over the weekend. That doesn't support me one bit. So an explanation could be nice depending on what the question is, what the inquiry is about, but a solution is always going to be much better. So don't just explain the problem at hand, but offer a solution in your email. And in the first email, I shouldn't have to go back and forth with you as a customer or a client to get my answer addressed. Okay. And so whether it's a refund, whether it's a replacement, whether it's simply more information, whether it's a video SOP of how I can do it myself, your customer should feel very confident that their issue is being resolved and that you're actually trying to resolve the issue. Okay. And then I'll leave y'all with this one that isn't even in my notes. But make sure you're ending with a positive tone. Because even if you disagree with your customer, even if you're having a bad day, your customer is going to make an assumption about how you treated them through that email, because we know you could be very much feeling okay, cool, but your customer may be like, oh, that was a sassy response. Oh, I sent some sarcasm in there, that kind of a thing. And so you want to end with a positive tone. That could be simply thanking the customer for their patience, thanking them for their business, leave them with a good impression, even if the initial interaction was negative. Making sure like, hey, I'm so sorry about that again. I know that cost you a lot of time over the weekend. Let me know if first of all, let me know if we actually solved your issue today. And thank you so much. If you need anything again, make sure to reach out to us between these days and times. And then also let me show you that we have a whole FAQ section with videos to support you with your questions, even while we're away over the weekend. Okay. Have a great day. Talk soon. We have to learn how to master the art of email responses so that we can improve customer satisfaction, so that we can improve the quality of the customer service experience, and so we can strengthen customer loyalty. Because those 4 or even 5 points that I've just said, it's going to take you a long way when it comes to what that customer deem as a quality experience with your company. It's going to determine if they're going to be a loyal customer of yours or if they're going to find somebody else who know how to talk to people via email. All right. And so with that being said, again, crafting that perfect email is going to turn a customer interaction into a positive one, even if it started off as a bad one. And so if you're ready to begin crafting these email responses, we know Black Friday, Cyber Monday are coming up, and there's going to be questions. I want you all to first jot down a list of potential questions that somebody could potentially ask when it comes to your launch, your service, your product, your business, about you, your transformations you provide, anything that a customer could potentially ask you. I want you to brain dump all of those questions, and then I want you to begin to craft these emails. And if you're a ChatGPT person and you're like, I have to use ChatGPT, make sure when you're asking them or prompting them to write these for you, make sure that you're telling them to show empathy. Make sure that you're telling them to offer a solution right away. Make sure you're telling them to be very clear and concise and to be personable. Also, make sure you're telling them to end with a positive note. And so I actually have 10 canned emails for you. If you want them for your next launch, just go to www.theempireeffectagency.com and I have those for you. These are actual canned emails that I've used in the customer service experience for 6 and 7 figure launches, y'all. And we've consistently, me and my team that I manage, we're consistently averaging 95% plus customer satisfaction ratings. And so be sure to use some of these and let me know if you have any questions. All right, y'all. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.